Hey, what is going on, guys? Eric just checking in here. I got another video for you. Wanted to address a few more questions I've gotten on MarketGod, a few of the versions that we've got out, as well as some of the updates I've got for today. Also looks like we've got some action going on with Bitcoin right now. Pretty exciting stuff. Friday afternoon right now, so usually when good stuff happens. Yeah, so just getting right into it. So just so you guys know, I've updated. If you go into the indicator library on tradingview.com, you're going to see here that there is an assortment of the indicators that I've put out under TV MarketGod. Now, I just upgraded V7 backtest and V6 backtest. I'm still working on the backtest for MarketGod X. I've actually lost the source script. I had it yesterday, ready to go. But when I find it, it should be today, I will post it and let you guys know. I also want to do one for V5, so then we will have up-to-date backtests, because as of right before this, that they weren't up to date. I really wish I could rename these up here, but I can't. I would name them all the same thing or make it one indicator. I don't know. But whatever our options are, I'm going to talk to TradingView about it, see if there's anything I can do. I don't think there is, but we'll see. But yeah, so V6 backtest is actually looking pretty good too. They really all are. V6 and V7. MarketGod X is there too. It will look good. That should just save it. That's not up to date. Hold on, I did publish it though, so let me just open this real quick. And where did I put that guy? Screw it. I'm going to cut that part out. I need to add that for you guys in a minute. We're going to refresh this. Actually, I haven't refreshed my own browser. Jump back to that, guys. Okay, so it looks like I had a few errors I needed to fix on a few of the scripts. I'm trying to get everything in alignment. Last year was such a great year for this launching. It really wasn't too organized. So just been trying to really standardize everything, make it all the same. So like I was saying, the backtest for V7 as well as the backtest for MarketGod V6 are now up to date in accordance with the strategy. I'm going to do V5, and I've got V8 coming out. VX. MarketGod X is his backtest coming out here shortly. I just need to find that script as well. So once we get those up and rolling, then they should be in sync with the indicators for the most part, which brings me to my next point. So it's been brought to my attention that some of our newer users may have some challenges understanding differences between indicators and strategies. So I will just spend a few minutes. I'm going to go over strategies in general and the main differences between them, both from a coding level, programming in Pine, to a functional trading understanding. And then I will also link a bunch of articles if you guys want to follow up with it and do any more reading on it. But basically, here, let's start by just showing you the built-ins. That's cool. That we can do that. Let's do anything. Let's do one on there. So, but even with the whole MA. So one of the main differences, guys, between indicators and strategies, an indicator is going to be, it's going to do the same thing regardless of situation. It's going to be oscillating, just like these are down here when they're off the panel, or just like an MA. It does the same thing no matter what the situation. The result is the same. A strategy is a lot different. A strategy is reactive. A strategy is if this, then that, if that makes sense. So when an indicator, when I come out and I make, basically, let's just say MarketGod V7, just because I looked at it first. So it's going to give you, the oscillations, highs, lows, as they come and go. Let's switch back to this stuff over here. At the end of the day, dang, that looks brutal. So at the end of the day, what happens is, this is giving me the same, the same reading. The situation doesn't change on it, right? And it also, you notice how it alternates buys and sells. That's coded in there. If I took the buys and sells off of it, and I just straight up sorry, and the part that makes them alternate, and I just straight up made them post as is, it would not look anywhere near as good as it does right now. It looks like garbage. Now the reason it does that is because I had to program in, when it's different than the previous, then it's going to basically tell you what the signal changed to. Now the difference here is going to be that it's giving you the same thing. Now to translate that over to the back test and give you the exact same result is a interesting. It would be challenging to say the least. Because strategies are so different in that they are reactive to a situation, whereas, like I said, the indicator is going to give you the reaction regardless. Sorry, I'm just battling the back test here, trying to get this on. That brings me to the next point, this box down here. So what it's saying, if you guys see this box too, it pops up, I'm in Heikin-Ashi candles. So it's telling you that the results may not be accurate. Now, what I mean by that is when you're using the back tests, always make sure you're using a default input of normal candlesticks or close. And I'll show you why. Basically, let's pop over to the strategy tester. So this right here is the stats of what a strategy looks like when I'm doing, I think I'm on normal candles right now. And I'll get to what these numbers mean in a minute, but it's basically saying that you'll win 43% of your trades with a profit factor of 2.2. Whether or not that's true, I'll get into. But here's what happens for the Heikin-Ashi example. If I switch to my Heikin-Ashi candles, check out the difference here. I'll go back into the performance summary. Sure enough, it went up to 51.6%, and that's because Heikin-Ashi candles are average based. And when the buys and sells on my inputs are set to, close and high, low, whatever, no matter what it's set on, when I change that to, Heikin-Ashi high or Heikin-Ashi low, it's now talking about an average or a group of that trend. Now that is different from what I'm sure some people expect to hear. It works visually. It makes it look cool. I personally, I'm a visual person, so I prefer to have Heikin-Ashi candles because it's easier to pick up on trends. For example, that's not good at all. I think we're about to dump pretty heavily. It's going to be, could have this kind of situation right here too. So look out for lows, guys. I'll get into some TA here. I do want to start doing this a little more on my actual account. If you don't follow me on Twitter yet, it is at King Thies. I do technical analysis, a lot of market trend discussion, financial education in general. I want to do a lot more. MarketGod's kind of taken over, and I really do like providing value to my followers. So getting back to that is actually very important to me. Cool. So continuing on along here, let's go into the performance summary and just look at what it looks like for each of these numbers, right? I wanted to address this because, overall, I've seen a lot of people basically TradingView is misunderstood in a lot of ways, and they don't have the voice to fix a lot of what they're saying or what the numbers are telling you. For example, this right here is saying that my starting points, and I'll show you my starting points real quick. Noise filter on V7 to 10, starting from 2012. It is true. I don't know. I think I have to put that back in. I just updated it, so it might be bugged. And then when you go and you put in your stop losses, they're at 0 right now. They're not active, but it's going to change it up a little bit. Now, what it's saying is that when you start with $10,000 and you take it into, each order size being 25% of your equity, which is incredibly high. Don't actually do that. Realistically, that's more like it. 2.5 depending on the risk reward. What it's going to say here is that over the course of that time frame, you're getting, and you can put in your commission or how much you're being charged, but it's going to tell you that basically you're going to win 43% of your trades, but you're still going to end up in the green. Now, a lot of people misunderstand that. They take the only thing that matters is going to be the percentage profitable, and that is very far from incorrect. I've debated this and tested it out for a year now, and if I am wrong, let me know, and because I'm actually interested in finding out, if I'm wrong. But I don't think, in my opinion, the percent profitable is what matters. Now, what matters is I'm going to go into my scripts, and here's an example of what I mean. Let me get down to get to see the back end a little bit here, but looking at, I named it just for this. So this great example that we've got, let's go into the code here and see what is going on. I'm going to add it to my chart right now. Internal server error. I love it when it gives me these. Once it starts to populate, it doesn't look bad, right? This is just a random strategy I was playing around with. I am consistently doing this around the clock, right? So I see a bunch of them, but what I'm talking about specifically is if I go to the performance report, it's going to tell me, holy cow, it's going to tell me that 71% profitability, right? You guys see that? 71%, so on and so forth on the 15-minute. Maybe I should publish this one. That said, when I go down to the 5-minute, and it's not giving me much of my windows, I'm battling my computer a little bit. So notice this here. As I get to the lower parts, and maybe it just likes me a little more. Dang, it's actually a good strategy. Essentially, it's going to give me a 70% percent profitable, but only a 2% return. So what does that even mean? It means your profit factor is barely even. And while you're not losing money, that's not ideal, right? So there's a lot of situations, and I'm a little annoyed this one's not doing it right now, where you're going to see your profitability, your percent profitable in the green, way up where it needs to be, because I aim for 70 and above. So I have a way to go on a few of them, but if you notice that the profit's the only thing that matters, right? At the end of the day, what are you taking home? And if it's not high, then it's not worth it. I can win 70% of my trades, but a lot of them can be losing trades that are big. I'd rather personally win, about even and have the wins be bigger and make sure they outweigh the losses. And how we do that is we mitigate our risk. So that's another thing to get into, but so guidelines when using the strategies overall, that was exactly what I was talking about. I don't even know what time frame that was on. Cool. So what this is saying right here is that we are 72% profitable with 11% down. What does that mean? It exactly. So it means you're losing money is what it means. So overall, when it comes to strategies and evaluating your backtests, you really got to look into the data, right? Here's a few resources that I know of now that I really recommend people going to. Just look up Pine Coders. These are the mods for the scripts and the people I answer to for our product, and for our tools. Basically, they have the backtesting engine. And the backtesting engine it's an incredible tool. Straight up, I would recommend using it if you aren't already. Look at this thing. It's literally, you can backtest any strategy. You can input your own, and it's impressive as hell. I will go ahead and link that below to the actual post, and it's gonna give you a lot more info than I can give you on it because I've been focusing on mine. But I thought it was a great resource to kind of share with you guys, because at the end of the day, what matters is making sure that you guys can use the tool as you need, and use it with your trading strategy, whatever that is. Cool. So, now that I've gone over that stuff, I'm not sure there's anything else I wanted to go over. If you guys have any questions, just make sure you put them below, or just email me, admin@marketgod.io. I will go ahead and respond on there as well. We got the Discord coming next week. We got the affiliate program going. A lot of great stuff happening, and I'm excited to have you guys here. So thanks, and see you soon.